We have a problem. What's going on, everyone? Jason with Wandering Grace Farm. Today we're in the chicken coops working on a project. Let me show you what's going on. So our chicken coops consist of these 14-foot grain bins or grain silos, whatever you want to call them. They're working out great, and what we did was we had them placed on the ground as it was. And so this used to be all grass and all weeds, and it used to be green. We could probably find some pictures that have it green. But we put it on the ground, and then we had a cement company come in and pour the cement inside the coop. And so if you look, so there's about, I think, 4 or 5 inches of concrete, and they just used the bin as the forms and put a board right here to do the door. But it's worked out good so far. The issue is the birds, they don't have any shade in here in this pen. And so when the sun's out, they seek refuge, they seek shade, whatever little shade there is, by this grain bin on the north side of it. And what they do is they burrow down next to it. And this one's not as bad, flock 2 is worse. But they'll scratch out a little portion of a little area for them, and then they'll lay down in it trying to get the shade and I guess the coolness of the ground. It's a lot better than being out in the sun. And so they've done it all around, everywhere except the south side for the most part. But they're starting to wear away the dirt underneath the grain bin. And so what I'm afraid is going to happen is they scratch out just enough dirt that the grain bin won't have anything to sit on, and the grain bin could shift a little bit, and we don't want that to happen. So not only are the chickens finding shade at the bottom of the silo or of the grain bin, we also have runoff from the roofs, slanted roofs, drip line all the way around. That wears down the ground underneath the silo as well. So ideally, we need to do something here. Looking to put some rocks, big size rocks at the base of it. 1, to break up the drip line, and 2, to discourage them from not getting their dust baths and not digging out at the base of the silo. But I can't do that until we put in some shade for them, because there is no shade at all except underneath the pool, but there's no shade in this pen whatsoever for them. So today's project is going to be putting in shade for these guys. It's going to be a simple structure, just 4 legs and a roof on top of it. Looking to be about a 4-foot by 6-foot roof. That should give them ample shade when it gets hot. So come with us as we do this. Okay, that wraps up the build for now. I want to give it a day to see what the shadow looks like tomorrow in the midday sun. So we'll wait until about 12. We got some other projects to do in the morning, but about 12, 1 o'clock, we'll come out and take a look, see what the shadow is. I put it at an angle, at a slant, for no other reason except for in my mind, I think that might throw off a better shadow, especially as the sun tilts back south, giving a little bit extra shadow, but I could be wrong. I don't know. My mind works that way to where I think that's the best way, but we'll see tomorrow if it is. But let's show you what we got. So like I said, it's a pretty simple structure. Nothing fancy. We didn't go out of our way to square up the corners or anything like that. Just 4x4 pressure treated in the corners. And just regular 2x4 studs for the roof frame. Corrugated metal for the roof. I enjoy working with that stuff, and it's kind of cheap. But it's 3 feet in the back, 4 feet in the front, 3 feet south, 4 feet north. So like I said, I'm thinking as the sun beats down this way, I'm hoping that throws a bigger shadow on the ground by being slanted, rather than just being straight across. And also it allows rain and whatnot, snow, to flow off of it whenever it happens. So it's not supposed to be waterproof. It's not meant to keep the birds out of the rain. They got their coop for that. It's just to provide shade in these hot days like we've been having. So hopefully they go from using this to this, hopefully, but we'll see. Once I get the rock at the bottom here and fill this in and get the rock on it, they're not gonna have a choice. So we'll see. Day 2 of the shade build for flock 1. Yesterday we installed a overhang, little roof, shade roof for the girls, for the flock. Try to provide some shade during these hot summer days. Walked out here, it's about 1:30, 1:35, and I believe this is the time of day where the sun's at its highest, which I was interested in, and see what kind of shade it would throw off. And so when we walked out here, I'd say probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 birds were underneath the shade. I put the water right underneath the shade, trying to keep the water cool, so that drew them there too. But there were some birds using it. There's a duck right now laying down, but let's go see what the shade looks like. So like I said, it is about 1:30, 1:35 in the afternoon, and the sun's supposed to be at its highest. And this is the shade that this overhang gives off. So it's a decent amount of shade. I haven't measured it yet. I'll measure it here in a minute. But we still have birds against the grain bin. This is a good start. So the shade on the ground measures about 6 by 4.5. The top, the roof is 6 by 4. So we're a little wider, which is kind of what I was intending. I put that slope on there trying to, in my mind, increase the size of the shadow on the ground. Kind of like when you maximize your solar panels, you angle those just right to hit the angle of the sun. I probably could have done the math and got the right angle on this. I just went, I don't know what the angle is off the top of my head, but it's 4 feet high in the front, 3 feet high in the back. So whatever that angle works out to be. But as of right now, it looks like it's a win. Obviously, I think we need to maybe make it a little bit bigger, especially since we're gonna have some more birds in here next year. So, but we can easily add on to this, I think. But right now, this is just going to be the prototype. So we are going to build flock 2 and flock 3's shelter or shade, and this gives us an idea of what we need to do. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.